Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I share my little tools, tips, and tricks with you to help you improve the quality of your life. My name is Rebecca, and today's topic is how not to take anything personally. Yeah, wow, that's a big one. And for me, for a long time, was a big one, and I noticed that I'm still bumping up to that. So, first of all, why should we not take anything personal? First of all, we shouldn't take anything personal because nothing really is personal. Because everything only has the meaning that you give it. I know that's a very controversial thing, but what do I mean with that? Abraham Hicks gives these examples where she says, imagine a random person calling you and saying, hey, I just called to tell you I'll never call you again and I hope you have a happy life. You're most likely going to think, thank you. I hope you have a happy life too. And you're probably not going to take it personal that they're not calling you again. But then she goes on and says, but what if it was your parent? Or let me add, in case you're not close to your parents, a loved one, somebody you're really, really close to. And they would start calling you and say, hey, I just wanted to tell you, I'm never going to call you again and I hope you have a happy life. You're probably going to react very differently and you're probably going to think of the situation very differently. But in the end, it's the meaning you give it. The incident itself is neutral. This is why even such things as terrorist attacks, while they are condemned by others, others are neutral, don't really have any emotion about it, and other people actually celebrate the people who actually took the action and terrorized others. So in any case, this just shows that everything we see is neutral. And then the other thing is, there's this also another story of this monk who was insulted by a reporter. And the reporter just kept saying, I know you're fake and I know you're not good and you're just pretending and you're such a liar, but I see through this and you're just so fake. And the monk would just laugh and smile and smile and smile. And the more the reporter insulted him, the more the monk would smile in response. And at some point the reporter said, why are you smiling at me? And then the monk answered by saying, well, if you're trying to give me a gift and I'm not taking it, who has the gift? And the reporter answers, me. And he said, see, I'm not letting your criticism in. And that's the other thing. It's like when other people actually, and I know there are situations where other people do things that seem on purpose, that seem to want to upset us. It's very easy to jump into that. But most of the time, all of the time it's our choice whether we want to let it in. And then those are actually, for at least in my life, those are definitely the smallest occasions or the fewest occasions. Most of the time when I'm worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet. I'm interpreting a situation. So, for example, not too long ago, I've been out with a friend, and at some point she was like, oh, I think I'm going to go back because I'm hungry. And I mean, we ended up going back, but this entire time I kind of had the thing in my mind like, oh my God, did I do something wrong? Did I offend her? And I asked her, and she said, no, I was just hungry. I just wanted to go back home. I was hungry and a little tired. And I was like, and I knew that she's the type of person who's honest. And still, I was worrying about it. I was still thinking about it like for 1 or 2 days. And then I noticed that I was taking an action personally that wasn't even personal at all. And this is why I think this is very important to actually be aware when we step into this mode, because sometimes I feel like I'm getting defensive, even though what the other person did wasn't even offensive. I just interpreted it as that. Like, somebody looks at me and I'm like, why are you looking at me that? I give this look an interpretation. And sometimes the person, is stuck in their own thoughts and doesn't even notice that they're looking at me in the same moment or whatever it is. In any case, the reason why we should not take things personally is because it robs us of our own happiness. So if you want to be happy in every moment, one of the biggest gifts you can give to yourself is actually to learn how to not take anything personally, and to learn how to, really be kind and open and solid in yourself, in an emotional, stable in yourself in an emotional way, so that when other people do actually do or say things to hurt you, you don't let them in. Because, I mean, let's go for a different occasion. Maybe one of you, I've had that several times happening to me, that people were like, oh, well, why are you wearing these clothes? And I'm just like, I like them, like, and they're like, oh my God, it looks so ridiculous. Like, why, I don't know, are your shoes like that? Or why is your belt buckle too big? Or your pants are too big or too wide, or this not the right shape or whatever. And I just noticed that as long as I felt good in these clothes, they could say whatever and it didn't matter. But these times when I reacted to it were mostly times when I already had thought in my mind of like, oh my God, maybe I look fat in these pants, or maybe they do look kind of weird. So what I noticed is that, again, most of the criticism that we do let in is criticism that we actually have on some kind of level, whether very conscious or more on a subconscious level, in our own habitual thought process. So the only thing I can really encourage you is to not take anything personal, by really being on top of what you think about yourself and how you want to see yourself, and to really remind yourself that you are incredible, that you are unique, that you're beautiful, that you have a gift that nobody else has, and that you matter. Because if you know all these things and you feel beautiful and you feel lovable and you feel kind and you feel passionate about something, then it's going to be a lot easier to actually, well, not really block, but to not let in criticism. Especially, and I'm not saying like if somebody corrects your grammar in a paper, for example, at school, for you to not say, you know what, I'm amazing and like my grammar is always perfect. Well, not in that kind of way. I mean, constructive criticism can really help, but the destructive criticism, that's just an attack to your personality, just don't let it in, by staying strong and knowing that who you are, and knowing that you matter, and knowing that you're incredible. And yeah, so little summary again. So how not to take in anything personally, first of all, notice that everything's neutral and everything only has the meaning you give it. Second of all, stop interpreting what other people could think or feel. And if you cannot get out of your head, ask these people. And then, deal with it. And the best thing is to just feel so secure in yourself, and to really accept yourself unconditionally and love yourself unconditionally. Doesn't mean you shouldn't work on your flaws, because everybody has them, nobody's perfect, but it just means that you love yourself for who you are, and how Lisa Nichols always says, you're perfect in your imperfection. And just accept that and embrace that, because that'll give you the strength to not take things personally, whether they're meant as an attack or not at all. Yeah, so that's my video for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, why don't you share a situation where you might have taken something personally and then afterwards noticed there was no personal attack? Just for you to notice that in the next time these kind of thoughts cross your mind, you notice that they're just an illusion before you actually take it personal. I wish you a wonderful day. Take care, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.